I think just two quick questions that are there. One, of course, is looking at the per capita decline of Tamil Nadu. Here you have the second largest industrial...
what do you mean per capita decline?
In terms of, not decline, sorry, in terms of the ranking that you'll have, right? Considered the, second largest industrial state, doing well in all this. But you see from 2011 onwards, your ranking in the national level is beginning to drop. And I think the highest it reached was, the best performance was 4, and then it started rising again to 6, 7 in the current thing. Now, what is the reason for this decadal decline, and how would you, because at the end of the day, all your plans means money, unless your per capita income is increasing,
I'm not even sure 11 is the right mark. I would say 14 is the mark. I've done a lot of study on this, but let's assume that your data is right. I would say from 14, it's very clear, right? Again, what the textbook says, if you don't have good administration, you don't manage your finances well, long term, you will find a decline. What has happened? So that I'm confident we'll fix. There's a different issue here, which is how do you measure or how do you rate some of these things, right? For example, right now, Tamil Nadu has about 10 or 15,000 rupees per capita lower income than Gujarat. Gujarat has been a phenomenal success story economically in the last 7, 8 years, maybe 10 years. But almost no girl under 15 is not in school in Tamil Nadu. 15, 20% of them are not in school in Gujarat. What kind of growth do I want? There are 4 doctors for every 1,000 people in Tamil Nadu. There's only 1 doctor for every 1,000 people in Gujarat. What kind of society do I want? Not, the GDP numbers are not everything. We have a way of life that we want to protect and preserve. We also want growth, we also want jobs, but we want it our way. That's what the CM calls the Dravidian model. We will implement the Dravidian model, and whatever the shortcomings over the last 10 years, in 5 years, we'll be back on top again. I'm 100% sure.
And finally, looking at human resources, okay, and we were talking in the morning about the industry section. Now, point is you could have industrial growth, but if you don't have the manpower to meet it, the skilled manpower, really, what do you need to do to change that system? I mean, since you're looking after human resources, what is it that you need to do?
Yeah. First, I should make the distinction. I'm only the human resources of the government, not of the state. Okay. There's a labor department and a welfare department. Right. But this is a profound problem, right? As proud as we are that we have a almost 52% gross enrollment ratio in higher education,
right,
which is double the national average, better than the US and all that. It's clear that they're not all getting quality education. They're getting a degree, doesn't mean they can actually do anything. So there's a big gap in skilling, and there's a big gap in a lot of other things. We are guys who put our programs and our money where our mouth is. So both in terms of remedial education coming out of 2 years of COVID, where we have, I would say, by far the most well thought out, piloted, researched program called Illam Thedi Kalvi to bring back the social component of learning by having after school in every village, in every block. To the program announced by the Chief Minister on his birthday a couple of days ago called Naan Mudalvan. It says, I want to be the best at what I do. That may be many different things. You may be a journalist, he may be a waiter, he may be a chef, he may be a graphic artist, I may be an analyst. But we got to inculcate that professionalism and that desire to do whatever you do with pride in your work, irrespective of the work, and to fit the skills of these people to the industry and the needs of society. So we had a wide range of people. We had the UK Deputy High Commissioner, my friend Oliver. We had Nadarajan, the cricketer. We wanted to show that there's all these different walks in life and that whatever you choose to do, you excel and you drive yourself. And we are going to set up guidance counselors in every school. I'm going to personally go and lecture for their training. We're going to set up, regular sessions with different industry spokespeople and different careers to come and say, what is it this evening? I'm rushing. I'm going to go release a book in Tamil on audit. What is audit? What is the profession? What skills do you need to have? What is the upside you can get on it? So that people understand that there are careers like that. Right? There used to be a time when everybody said, I want to be a doctor or an engineer. That's it. Now we need to educate. See, we've had some tremendous shift in society. When I went to engineering college in 1983, the state of Tamil Nadu could only provide about 3,000 seats engineering a year. When I came back as an MLA in 2016, the number was 2.5 lakh.
Wow.
of which 1.5 lakh were being filled. So the two immediate questions I asked, who's teaching all these people? Most of us emigrated and went off to the US. Let's say all of us stayed here, there's only 3,000, you got like 80-time increase. Second, who is giving them guidance or career counseling or, why should you be an engineer? How many jobs are there? Is this really a, career path that gets you employed? And I could talk about this for a long time because when I was in opposition, when Ms. Jayalalitha was still alive, I raised it in my maiden speech. I said, we have this surge of people going to school, nobody to tell them what to study, what to take a profession. And so you must bring out career guidance, not just for the students, but the parents of these students, because most of these students are first generation students. You and I can, my grandfather went to Oxford, my father was educated. I can go and ask him and he'll tell me what the world is about. If you're a first generation student, who do you go to get advice? Who tells you this is what the world looks like, this is how it fits? So the government needs to step up that kind of work. And to be fair to her, she did it the 1 year before she passed. For the first time, the government of Tamilnadu brought out a book, what after 10th, what after 12th and all that, then it stopped. Now we're going to ramp that up again. So there's a huge issue that we need to get the kind of skilling to match the demands, not just of the state, let's be very clear. The Chief Minister has said one of his goals when we have the global economic advisors, we have these 5 international advisors. He said one of my goals is that Tamil Nadu should be seen as a premier source of human resources for the world. Like we want to export people, just like we have historically, great examples around the world. We want to send the best qualified talent around the world.